All right. Well, hello. Today's Bitch Fest is going to be about, the pools, right? So I'm thinking the first in this series, and it's not going to look like a series, but the first thing I did out in Huntsville, I talked about how I need to get away from people. There needs to be distance from neighbors because I'm going insane from the noise. If I'm going to buy something new, we got to plan this. We got to know what I want to have, right? And the first thing is, it's got to be distance. Unfortunately, there's no place that respects noise, or the people who don't like noise, there's no place that really bans leaf blowers. And if it's not leaf blowers, it's something else, right? It's just that pure noise of, I cannot tolerate this. I shouldn't have to tolerate this. And part 2 in the series was going to be just the house itself. I don't need much. Right? I'm not some pretty princess who needs a mansion or a castle. And we're going to do that video some other time. But the second part in this series is going to be, I need a pool. And unfortunately, if you move out into the middle of nowhere where you're away from other people, it's not noisy. The problem is there's no pool around. Right? A pool you can do laps in. You can do the usual thing I do. Right? Although, again, usual thing, I don't do laps anymore that much. It doesn't really matter. We'll get to it, right? But this is it. Is even you move out here, this place has 4 pools. There's an adult pool. There's actually a giant rec pool over here. Okay, that actually is 2 pools. All right, it's a kiddie area, a deeper end, 5 feet, so it's not super deep. But there's a lap pool that's connected to it. There's an adult pool number 2, indoor pool. 2 indoor pools, indoor lap pool, indoor kiddie pool that's nice and warm. Generally, there's no kids in there at night, so I get to do my, whatever it is, my sprints in there. I get to run sprint in the pool. There's 4 pools here. Guess how many of them are usable right now? The answer is 0. This one's 78 degrees. It's 40 degrees outside Fahrenheit air temperature. I'm not getting in a pool that's under 80. Okay, that will be another whole video about the whole swimming pool temperature issues with me. I'm not getting in anything under 80. Okay, the adult lap pool, they said it's 80 degrees, so I was like, there's a nice little jacuzzi thing next to it. Maybe we can do 5 minutes in and out. That'd be fun. That's 78 too. Not happening. And the 2 indoor pools are both under construction. They're doing stuff above it, so they have to drain it. They said it's going to last a week, so it's going to last 2 or 3, right? Anyways, this is the problem, is of course under the COVID lockdowns, you couldn't use anything for 2 months here. In other places, it was even longer, right? So it's like, you can't just depend on anything. You really can't, And fine, I'll do the sauna. That's good enough. That's a kind of exercise, Maybe I'll do more walking or something, but I can't do 78 degrees. Now, it's going to get a little warmer. If it's 78 in the pool and it's like 70 something, it's sunny, maybe I'll come during the day, right? But it's just this, really, is it this complicated to get a nice 82 degree warm pool in the winter? Is it that complicated? And they even tried putting the tarps on, as you can see here. But, it's just, so I need a pool. Now, it's kind of ironic because when I grew up, I kind of start to hate swimming because we were doing laps all day long and it was just uninteresting. But I like it. It's meditative. If there aren't blasting music coming out of the speakerphones, and they only have them on in the summers. They only want to ruin this place in the summers with the shitty music. But the point is, it's very meditative. I do it head above water. But even if you're doing laps, especially if you're doing laps, this can be very meditative. You kind of lose track. It's very good. You can't do it with the loud music, and if it's too cold, right? So, despite the fact that during high school and middle school, I really hated swimming. It just felt like a chore, a burden. I've come to love it. I need to do it. But not in 78 degree water. That's too cold. Oh, it's just 78. Oh, it's air temperature 78 is pleasant. But when the air temperature is 40 and the water is 78 and I'm 150 pounds, 6'2", that's not very pleasant. Okay? That's not very pleasant. Okay? It's not happening. You know, you just cannot unwind, or at least I can't. Maybe if you have a little more fat on you, it doesn't feel that bad, but I can't, right? So I need my own pool. I need my own pool, right? And again, moving away into a more rural, isolated area. Not super isolated, but, you know, there's no pools nearby that you can use. And again, even if you have literally 4 pools, none of them are really usable for me, right? So you can't depend on anybody else, right? That sucks. But that's, I guess, you can't depend on anybody. That's the theme of everything, you know? You just got to do it yourself. And that's fine. You know, that's fine. It is like 42 degrees out here, I think. Anyways, look at that. So, so that's really it. And I've mentioned this before. This is not news. One of the reasons I moved out here is the big thing was, where's a pool? Is there a pool nearby? This was the nicest facility, right? And it's nice enough when it works, when it's open, right? But it wasn't open Christmas Day. I actually missed it Christmas Eve because they closed early and I didn't notice, right? So, but it's like, why can't we have swimming on Christmas? It's fun, you know? No, you can't do it. No, sorry. You know, so you got to do it yourself. And I think the COVID, everyone wants a pool era is over. So I don't think it's going to be as expensive. The wait might not be as long. Again, it's not imminent. I'm just thinking it through. You know, these are think it through kind of videos. And again, I wanted to do the what I want in a house video. A very small house, very, very well thought out house, couple 100 square feet. Doesn't have to be huge, right? But yeah, the pool is an important aspect of it. It's part of, I also want a place where I can walk around a lot, because there are some rural places where you can't quite, you know, if your property is right off a relatively busy, even if it's a county road with a 65-mile speed limit, that's not a nice place to walk around in, right? And if you're boxed in by other properties around you, you're just boxed in, you know? Now, there are a lot of little rural roads where it's dirt roads and you know, there isn't even a speed limit because, you know, you're not capable of going over 30, right? I've been down those before. That can be a nice place to walk around in, you know. You don't really need a special trail, you know, that sort of thing. But anyways, just focusing on the pool aspect of it. Yeah, I do need a pool. And there's no way around it, you know. I have to make my own pool. You know, and it doesn't, see, the thing is here, I don't know if you can see it here. Is that the thing? Yeah, this whole area that doesn't have as many tarps on it, like right here. This is from what I've measured, and I always forget to take out my laser pointer measure device that I have. I think it's about 55 feet. It's 5 feet deep, perfect for running, perfect for swimming in it. Now, 75 feet is a proper lap. 25 yards, 75 feet. So you don't really even need a proper 75 feet anymore. And again, you don't need like the whole giant pool, right? It's just that little strip. It's really great. You can run in it, you know, head above water running. You can still do a couple laps in it, you know, and maybe it's 10, 12 feet across, at least this little nook, right? It kind of ends over here and goes in, right? So that's not that huge. You know, you multiply 50 by 100 or 50 by 10, 50 by 12, it's 600 square feet maybe. It's not that expensive if you look up the per square footage of it, you know. And, you know, if you have a consciously thought out small house, it's not that expensive. The land, you know, do you buy 10 acres, 100 acres, where? Okay, separate issues. But we're talking about the pool, right? And, you know, that's just it. You know, when I moved here less than 4 years ago, you know, the idea of, oh, I'll build my own thing, no, that was just so daunting. But now it's like, no, I've outgrown this place very quickly, and that's good, you know. I do need to make my own thing. And that's just it. You know, we'll talk, you know, I'll go in the sauna, I'll do the spa, probably not much swimming. Sometimes if there's nobody in the outdoor spa, I do swim laps there, laps with little quote marks around it. It's maybe 15 feet because it's a nice concrete jacuzzi type thing, all right? But you can take a stroke or two in it, float back and forth. So it reminds me of, I think it was on SNL or MTV, or Mad TV, excuse me. Like maybe, I don't know, 20 years ago, Jim Carrey had a scene where somebody was swimming laps in the jacuzzi, or something like that. That's pretty funny. I might put that in a timestamp. But I'll also take a nice hot bath at night, and I'll do a video about this, maybe the house size and my thoughts about it. But I wanted to do a relatively short little summary of just the pool. Part 2, pool. Part 1 is distance from other people. Part 2 is I do need my own pool. Ironically enough, I hated swimming in high school. It felt like a chore, but yeah, it's just, it's when you're not being forced to do it, you're not doing laps, it is extremely relaxing, and it just has to be done, and you look at the aerial views, the satellite views on Google Maps. My hands are freezing, good Lord. Let me put them in my pocket here. You look at all this concrete pool stuff that people build out here, and it's just a status thing. People don't use these. It's like, what a waste of money. But I'd use mine every day, I'd use mine every day. As long as the temperature is over 85. Well, I'd crank it up to 85. I don't care how much it costs, having a nice warm water, you can just kind of slowly swim and relax, and it's really good. Anyway, speaking of warm, this is not warm. I'm going to go inside, go in the sauna, go sit in the hot tub, Anyway, so that's it, pool. That's it. I need one.